Hey you, it's me, Curtis P, and it's time for some coffee. Kicking off the news today, Microsoft's Surface products are no longer recommended by Consumer Reports. This due to poor predicted reliability compared to other brands of the same stature. Consumer Reports stating that 25% of all Surface devices will have issues at the end of the second year of purchase. Now, previously, Surface devices have ranked relatively high on the Consumer Reports chart, but in the end, Consumer Reports stating that shoppers care about reliability over anything else. In a statement, they said, "Consumers tell us that reliability is a major factor when they're choosing a tablet or laptop, and people can improve their chances of getting a more dependable device by considering our brand reliability findings." Now, no surprise here, Microsoft isn't really happy with all of this. They stated, "Microsoft's real-world return and support rates for the past models differ significantly from Consumer Reports' breakage predictability. We don't believe these findings accurately reflect Surface owners' true experiences or capture the performance and reliability improvements made with every Surface generation." So pretty interesting here, as the Surface line, again, just started a couple of years ago, really. Microsoft's still sort of ramping up that line and getting it out to more consumers and trying to build up a better brand around it. But with this, it could be a huge blow to the company. But of course, it all depends, do you actually pay attention to Consumer Reports or not? So that's why I kind of wanted to ask you guys, do these findings actually affect your choice to purchase a Surface product? You can let me know in the comment section down below. Next up, we get a better look at the next iPhone color selection in a brand new YouTube video. This new video shows off the possible new color selections for the next iPhone, including a black iPhone, white iPhone, these two not being surprising, but the big one here is the copper/gold color. Personally, I'm not really sure what I think about the new color. I think it's kinda ugly, truthfully. Hopefully the real production models actually look a lot better. That's one thing that we've seen in the past. Usually the leaks and stuff look a lot worse than the actual production model when it actually ships out. So hopefully Apple refines and actually makes this color better before it's available to consumers. Also, another thing to note here, the white iPhones in these mock-ups actually have a white bezel on the front, which is something I think looks absolutely horrible, especially considering Apple's next phone is expected to have an OLED display on it. This means you can get true blacks, like 100% black. So why not have the bezel be black? That way, the actual screen and the bezel can blend together. Having a white bezel just completely defeats this purpose. So hopefully in the next iPhone, we'll see a completely black bezel on all of the phone colors. Into the leak that keeps on giving, everyone, let's talk about the HomePod leak, because this has been a big one recently, and it just keeps on giving new, more awesome information. So for a little backstory, if you don't already know, here's kind of what's been going on with the HomePod story. Apple, of course, announced HomePod at WWDC, and ever since then, they've been giving it out to Apple employees to test out. Now, Apple was hoping to update these HomePods to a brand new version of the software, but they accidentally uploaded this software to the developer server. That meant that anyone in the world who had developer access could pull down that file. So if you pay $100 a year and you become an Apple developer, well, you could find this file, pull it down, and then begin ripping it apart, which is what a lot of people did. The software containing a bunch of information about future iOS devices, this type of information is usually scrubbed out of the software before being released to the public. So because the HomePod's not going to be released until like December or something, it's running a version of iOS that includes all the information about future like iPhones, Apple Watches, Apple TVs, iPads. All that information is just wrapped up into this OS because theoretically, once the HomePod actually ships, all that stuff will have already existed. Except of course, when you ship that software before any of that hardware even exists, and then you're just like, what is that pointing at over there? The findings are rather interesting, starting with the next generation iPhone here. The next iPhone will have new facial recognition software built right into the phone. This will reportedly replace Touch ID on the next iPhone, so you won't be using your fingerprint to log in. Instead, you'll be holding up your iPhone and it will scan your face and then unlock. Or this will also authenticate different purchases from Apple Pay and let you unlock certain apps. The next iPhone will also ditch the home button and move to a virtual home button. This is something we thought was going to be happening for some time, but now this leak confirms it. The new home button will also be able to be resized if the user wants, and you can actually even set it to totally disappear and hide. Kind of like the dock on the Mac, you can make it disappear if you want to, but it's still technically there. New camera information here, as it'll be able to record 240 frames per second video at 1080p. This is something the current iPhone can't do, as it does it at about 720p, so half the resolution. There's also some hints towards some sort of smart camera system. It'll basically be able to detect the scene or the item that you're currently trying to take a picture of. Your future iPhone will be able to tell and then adjust the picture and the camera accordingly. And last but not least, wireless charging is expected to be part of the next iPhone. Into the Apple Watch news here, not a lot of information, but code suggests that the Apple Watch will be getting an LTE connection. So if you have an Apple Watch and you want to put a SIM card in it for data, you will be able to do that in the near future. That way you can leave your phone at home and you can go out on like a walk or a run or something and still receive texts and phone calls right on your watch. And last, the Apple TV, well, it looks to be going 4K. The new code suggesting assets that are twice the resolution of the current assets on the Apple TV, which only suggests that it'll be going 4K. We've also seen some leaks of content actually being 4K on the iTunes Store, so Apple appears to be ramping up for a 4K launch in the near future. More phone news here, as the Essential Phone will be having an event coming up in the near future. The company behind the Essential Phone is hosting a first look event August 25th in Los Angeles. They'll be showing off their brand new phone and a 360 camera attachment for it. Now, the launch date for the Essential Phone is coming up in the near future, and the Essential Phone follows current design standards with an edge-to-edge display. It also has an interesting little camera cut in here. The company itself is founded by Andy Rubin. He was the inventor of the iPod, and he also created Nest. It'll be really interesting to see when it actually launches, if it's actually a good phone or if it's just a heap of junk. Into some quick news for everyone, the Xbox One is getting Spotify support. Yes, Spotify is now available on the Xbox One. You can download the Spotify Music app for Xbox right on your device. You can even use Spotify Connect to control the music playing out of your Xbox while you're gaming. Looks like Snapchat still has aspirations to launch their very own drone, as they recently purchased 00 Robotics, the company behind the much acclaimed hover camera drone. Snapchat's recent purchase of 00 Robotics really points to the company still working on some sort of drone-related technology. 00 Robotics created the hover camera. It's currently on sale in Apple retail stores, and this little tiny drone would be the perfect companion to Snapchat. Reportedly, they purchased the company for $150 to $200 million, and no surprise here, as Snap Inc. has been rumored to be working on a drone for over a year. Well, that's the end of the show. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit up that like button, and of course subscribe, as I'm working on releasing new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the channel. You can find other videos like this on screen right now, and until next time, I'm Paradis. Have an awesome day.